Before we proceed with part 5A and the illustration of the universal law of creation using the applied sciences of astronomy, physics, chemistry, and mathematics, let us remember God's method of teaching. This is the method that 144,000teachers.org is proposing in its online schooling and homeschooling program. We read from Living Fountains or Broken Cisterns, page 59, from E.A. Sutherland again. It has been stated before that God teaches by the enunciation of principles or universal laws, and the Holy Spirit, which comes by faith, enlightens the senses, that we may grasp the illustrations of these laws in the physical world. That is heaven's method of teaching the angelic throng, and it was the method applied before the fall. So the more so, we would like to restore this method. And the way we will proceed now is by studying every day of creation, as found in chapter 1 of Genesis and chapter 2. And we will also acknowledge the universal law of divine actions as we read these verses. Genesis chapter 1 verses 1 to 5. In the beginning God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. We find 8 universal divine actions in these verses, and they're shown in bold in those verses. Also notice that God created, God moved, God said, and we see that the Spirit of God moved. We know that this is creation as well. And God saw. So therefore, we can see the 3 persons of the Godhead, just like we saw in the book of Romans, that creation is actually not only for the physical point of view, but it's also the spiritual that is brought in the part of worship. The eternal power of the Godhead is shown here very clearly, and the Godhead are presented very clearly. As we proceed now with the verses and identifying now the applied science in order to illustrate the universal law of creation, we start with, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And we saw that the beginning is time. The heaven is space, and the earth is matter. So first, this is what is mentioned. So therefore, time would refer to the science of astronomy, space, the science of physics, and matter involves chemistry. And of course, as we saw also in the definition of mathematics, these 3 sciences, astronomy, physics, chemistry, require the science of mathematics. Second, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Therefore, it mentions here water. Water again is chemistry and mathematics, and the formula of water is 2 diatomic molecules of hydrogen and 1 diatomic molecule of oxygen will always give you 2 diatomic molecules of water. And this is the terminology we use in chemistry to identify this formula. Third, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So here is mentioned light. Light is energy, wavelength, frequency. Again, it involves astronomy, physics, chemistry, and mathematics. Fourth, and the evening and the morning were the first day. So here there are mention of evening, morning, and day. So we have again the science of astronomy, physics, and mathematics.